It's the Room 442 post-World Cup show, and it's Albert, James, Sarah, and Mikey saying, some way, somehow, the first matches of the group stages, they're done. They're finished. We've made it this far, at least, James.
It's so boring so far,
I
isn't
know.
it?
No, it's been pretty.
No, it's been good.
Yeah,
Just
it's been
kidding.
Honestly,
World
Sarah,
Cup, come on.
hold on. How are the 5 a.m. wake-up calls been?
You know what?
5 days in.
I am now accustomed to it. I really wasn't going to wake up for the Switzerland-Cameroon game this morning, and I just woke up naturally. No alarm. I'm in. I'm
Tunisia,
all in.
Australia. You doing that one? On Saturday?
I don't know. I'm
That's
or
tough.
Serbia,
We got
Cameroon on
professionals,
Monday.
James.
Oh,
we
sorry.
have to do
yeah,
this,
yeah,
right?
of course. I actually find 5 a.m. better than 6 a.m. sometimes for some weird reason.
Yeah, 5 a.m. I'm not going to lie. I've missed a few first halves in the 5 a.m.
That's
game.
why I
I'm
haven't
not,
been
but,
chiming in.
but that's what we have recaps for. Let's talk about today's games. Brazil, the tournament favorites in action, and Mikey, they didn't disappoint. Before the match, we had a little bit of a debate.
Before,
Who's the better
during-
striker, Gabriel Jesus or Richarlison? I had to bring this up because for once I'm actually right. Richarlison with 2 goals and 1 fantastic bicycle kick.
He looked like it today, for sure. I'm not sure if I'm quite ready to hand that honor over. I want to see a little bit more, but come on, that second goal of the tournament so far, the touch, the fact that it was behind, it set up perfectly for it, and that's Brazil. You know what I mean? They have that flair to them, and yeah, world-class finish, and he's going to start next game for them at number 9.
Sarah, it took them a little bit to get going, but do they look like favorites to you?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know. At the beginning, the first half, I was really unimpressed. I was really impressed by Serbia. They were holding it their own, but once Brazil started to get going, it's hard to say no to a team like that, especially when I kept looking at their bench and seeing who was coming in. They're so deep. And like the fact that they scored a bicycle, like Michael said, that's vintage Jogo Bonito. Like that is going to fuel these guys. People are comparing Richarlison to Ronaldo, the original. Like, you know, this guy's going to be like feeling himself. No, I completely
Well,
agree.
he's wearing the number
but-
9.
All right, have a seat.
I know. I want to see when the next match come out with the Ronaldo haircut. James, for you, I think we all can agree on this. They might walk this group.
Yeah, at this point, haven't beaten Serbia now. Because, I mean, Serbia was supposed to be the big test in this group, right? And Serbia, I mean, that was anti-football today, let's be honest. They defended really well, but they were just so physical. I mean, Neymar got just smashed black and blue. Some of the bench post-match looking pretty upset, you know, with his ankle in ice. They had tactics to try and get to Brazil, and it worked for a while there. So now they've got through the toughest test of the group, I think. Yeah, they should walk this, absolutely.
Yeah.
Get in a good position for, and maybe do it early and rest some players, because who knows where Neymar, is at this point. But yeah, really impressive performance. I'm not sure I should condone the tactics of Serbia, but I kind of get it as well. How do you control that kind of skill, the deepest team in the tournament? You smash them, and it did kind of work for a while.
I mean, you can only soak up that pressure for so long playing against a front four like that. Vinny, Richarlison. Then you have Neymar in behind with Paqueta and Rafinha. Who else was in there? Casemiro. I mean, it's just so deep, right, Mikey?
They have probably the deepest squad at this tournament. Like, you could field 2 full teams and really still be competitive. When you see the names that they're bringing off the bench and they're not starting, you're like, okay, this is for real. But you know what? With that comes great expectations. For this Brazilian side, it's almost World Cup or bust. And we'll see how that dawns on them throughout the duration of this tournament.
Yeah, that's a pressure that not many of these nations have. Quickly, let's touch on Switzerland, Cameroon. Switzerland coming through, 1-0 win over Cameroon. Not the best of games. Breel Mbolo, the only goal scorer. I just want to hit you with this one, Sarah. So Breel Mbolo, born in Cameroon, scored the goal. Didn't want to celebrate against him. So let's say you're born here in Canada. You get to play for the Spanish national team. And you score against Canada. Are you celebrating?
I'm going to sue on that.
You are going to celebrate.
No, I think it would depend. Maybe not, especially I'm sure he probably knows a lot of those Cameroonian guys.
Yeah.
You're celebrating.
His family's
so
Cameroonian
hard.
too, right? He's got
No,
mum and dad at home,
right?
right?
He was born in Cameroon. Like,
Yeah,
it
no,
wasn't just
yeah.
that. So, like, yeah, and like you said, like, his dad still lives there. So I think I don't know, like, I think he only played for Switzerland because it's where he was when he started playing football. But I think he has still a lot of attachments.
Yeah.
So.
No,
It's more like me playing for Canada
Right.
and scoring against England, which,
And would you
which
celebrate?
might still happen.
Would you celebrate?
You'd celebrate.
Yeah, you would.
My shit would be over. My swirling like this. Are you kidding me? I'd be.
You gotta celebrate.
I get it though. I mean, listen, mum and dad are at home, and they're obviously, they're kind of torn here. proud Cameroonians. I get it. Great goal though, by the way.
Right.
Yeah.
The passing play was superb. Great finish. And Shaqiri, every World Cup, one of those guys comes out of the ashes. You know, his career's back, looking really good. Beautiful ball across. So good for them.
Yeah, one of these two teams. It's a battle for second between Switzerland, Cameroon, and Serbia. Let's look at the standings quickly. Right behind them, Brazil is Switzerland with 3 points, and you have Cameroon 0. And Serbia 0. Coming up in the next group matches, Brazil, Switzerland, Cameroon, Serbia. And I feel like that's going to be one of the most important matches in this group, because if we're thinking that Brazil's going to get through it and walk it, then it's really up to those last 3 teams for that second spot. That's it for this segment. Coming up after the break, we're going to talk about, guess who? Cristiano Ronaldo and his goal in today's games. Welcome back to Room 442. Albert, James, Sarah, and Mikey here with you. And let's go to Group H. Portugal, Mikey, 3-2 win over Ghana. Didn't make it easy for themselves. 5 goals in the second half. Ronaldo getting on the score sheet. What did you make of Portugal's performance?
Yeah, I thought there was moments where they looked legitimate and looked like the team I think many expected them to be with the names that are now on this roster. But then you also have those times with Portugal where they're conceding, honestly, silly goals. Ghana really didn't have much in this match for about 70 minutes or so. And then all of a sudden it's a half chance, maybe some poor defending, and they capitalize on their opportunity. That's going to be sort of the backbone of Portugal. If they can stop that from happening, I think they have the potential to make a deep run, because moving forward, they have the pieces. They have people who can score goals, and they have the flair, everything you need. But it's defensively, I have question marks about this team, and they didn't do much to really, stop those concerns.
James, there's a lot of questions surrounding Ronaldo's fitness and if he was going to be match ready. Did he answer some of those questions for you?
He looked pretty good, actually, to be honest. I mean, by his average standards these days, they're pretty good. The first half, he should have scored a goal. 1 goal, it was ruled off, of course. And then second half, we got the penalty, which it was a penalty, I think. There was some debate about it. You see them given, you see them not given. Let's not argue too much about that. And then the minute you saw him at the spot, look for his, how many goals is that in World Cups now? But it's 5 straight World Cups with a goal, which is a brand new record. It's just incredible. Whether you love him or hate him, he's the most polarizing figure in football, perhaps. But that is an amazing record. He got his goal, and that kind of opened the floodgates and took the pressure off Portugal for a while, at least. But Portugal, for some reason, love drama, right? That's what they do in big tournaments. It's never easy. And Ghana are a team that I think was a lot better than I thought they'd be. So good match. Yeah,
Sarah, you mentioned that you think Ghana can make some noise in this group.
Well, especially because Uruguay and South Korea tied 0-0, and they both looked a little. I thought both of them were going to be much more attacking than what they were, considering the players that they have. But the fact that Ghana came out and scored 2 goals against Portugal, and decent goals. Listen, right now, they've scored 2 goals and Uruguay and South Korea haven't. There's 2 matches left. Let's see what happens. But it's not easy to score on Portugal. They had defensive errors, but they're Portugal's a strong team, so.
And it could have been 3 with a little mishap at the back with
I was
Diogo Costa
losing it.
in goal. Yeah, so Portugal not looking great defensively. In the other game, like you mentioned, Uruguay and South Korea 0-0. A lot of people expecting Uruguay to kind of walk this game and win this one. Everyone's dark horse. It's another dark horse, James, that has fallen short.
Yeah, of course. And some people have South Korea as a dark horse too. And they look pretty good at times in this match, shooting from distance because they haven't got much going forward. Good to see Sonny, though, out there with the mask. Has he worn a mask before? He has, right? I'm pretty sure.
I feel like he has. I had the same conversation earlier today.
I think he's broken his face before.
Yeah.
But Uruguay, man, they had the chances. 2 posts. Godin, of course. And then, was it Nunes? I think it was,
no,
right?
Diego Godin.
Diego Godin.
No, Godin did, yeah. And who else?
Fede,
Valverde,
sorry.
yeah, got the post right, yeah. Had their chances, but not a really great game, that one. Another 0-0.
Worst game of the tournament?
Oh, it wasn't a bad 0-0.
You love this game for some
enjoyed the
reason.
game,
I don't know
Denmark was
why.
bad.
I'm not one of these
I
super
actually like Denmark.
tactical
Denmark
nerd guys, but I thought it was an
Croatia,
entertaining match.
Morocco wasn't great either.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
It's a
Maybe-
candidate. It's a candidate. Let's say there's what, one shot on target combined with both teams.
That's actually a great stat. Apparently,
it was
there's
0, wasn't it?
there's never been a World Cup game where neither team didn't have a shot on target. So the post obviously doesn't count.
Yeah.
Within the post,
Yeah.
there were no shots between both teams.
Yeah.
But the
yeah.
thing is, Albert loves some great technical football.
Oh, you get
It's
a
a
little
great
clap.
play,
You know, you get a nice
yeah.
little passage.
He loves the wall, doesn't he?
I do love a wall.
There's a free kick today for him, and he goes, "Oh, I love a good wall." Like, who says that?
He said
Like,
the
It's
other day,
important though, right?
the other
How
day he said,
important is
I
that?
love a good goalkeeper throw. I absolutely
Yeah.
love a good
What a
goalkeeper
loser.
throw.
I love this. The small things about
I
football.
love a
It
great
It
goal
makes you really
kick.
happy. Yeah, good challenge about Fede Valverde
Yeah.
when he won the ball back when he tracked back.
And then he should then
I love
Richarlison
that
scored. He's
stuff.
like, "Yeah, but that throw-in was
Yeah.
amazing." You
The
know?
bicycle kick was all right. Mikey, South Korea,
Yeah.
obviously not one of the favorites to get through this
Mm-hmm.
group, but now 0-0, no goals conceded. And coming up next for them is not Portugal. Oh my goodness, Cameroon.
Yeah. So they're still in the mix, right? I think that's the important thing with a team like South Korea. If they can stay within reaching distance, you know that it's possible that they can pull off an upset. I think this is a team that no matter which game they play, they're going to keep it close. So if they can find a way, like I said, just to stay in the mix and keep things close heading into match day 3, don't rule this team out because they're capable. And I'd say that for probably every team in this group except for Cameroon.
It's Ghana, guys.
Or it's
Ghana, excuse me, I'm
Ghana.
thinking
Yeah,
Cameroon.
yeah.
Ghana, the Black
That's why I
Star.
hesitated.
Okay, so as of right now, all these first matches are done. James, what stood out to you so far this World Cup?
Well, it's Canada, isn't it? Let's be honest. I mean, to be biased, I think they've not surprised us, but reinforced the hope that we had that this team can compete against the best teams in the world. Now, it's the first game of the World Cup. Top teams often struggle. Belgium did struggle, so let's not get too ahead of ourselves. But I was really impressed. Their lack of nerves, their energy, the courage. And now entering a game against Croatia, it's like, well, forget about the nice fairy tale story about Canada. No, we can possibly get something from that game now. The whole mentality shifted, I think, from the fan base. So that's what I've learned so far. I know it's biased, but hey, first World Cup in 36 years.
Quickly, sir, what did you make of John Herdman's comments about Croatia, that next thing for us is to go and F Croatia?
Yeah, I think it was just the heat of the moment. Post-match, he's feeling really good about his team, probably thinking that, they deserve the win. He did think that. And I think it came out. Today he was kind of apologetic to just Croatian fans and stuff. But I think in sport, the emotion comes out. And we've seen him so many times, the way he speaks. He's such a nice human that I don't take it like him being like, well, go screw these guys. He wants his team to win.
Did people complain about that? Were there complaints?
They asked the Croatian manager about it,
Right.
And he goes, well, yeah, he said what he said, but now we have to go and show them why we're Croatia, essentially.
Yeah.
And then Herdman was basically like, listen, I understand it could be disrespectful to them, but this is the new Canada.
I think Croatia can handle it.
I think they'll be fine.
Yeah.
They're a tough bunch of players.
I like this type
I
of
liked
attitude.
it.
Yeah.
I think you need it.
liked
It's
it.
great.
Although
it's great. We need more of this.
I am concerned if, God forbid, whatever happens, Croatia comes out and slaps Canada, the memes that'll be going.
Well, that's one thing that can
day of the
backfire.
That's a good
internet.
point.
That's
Yeah,
one thing that
yeah.
can backfire. We've seen in sport before. You don't want to add fuel to the fire to your opponents, because
Right.
it really could backfire.
Yeah, but I think he's just caught him here in the moment, like you said
Yeah.
there. Post-match, a really good performance. I love this comments. I mean, he was frustrated. He goes, yeah, we're proud of the performance, but you lose that first game.
Yeah.
He's angry.
He said that against Uruguay too, when they had that game against them, and
Yeah.
Canada obviously lost. I think 2-0 was the final score, and he came out and he was, they took it to Uruguay in that game, but he was still not happy about it because he said, literally for this exact reason, when you get to the World Cup, you have to take advantage of games that you're in. You have to take advantage of those, 'cause that's going to come back to bite you. And again, hopefully that's not the case.
What's this whole narrative over here in Canada right now of this nice little team Canada? What a nice story it is. Good for the boys. To hell with the results. And he's trying to get over that. Saying, no, it's about the results. And as we mature as a football nation, we have to start, demanding, expecting this team to play a certain way. And that proved to me they can play that way. But I really like his response. Like, no, none of this.
Yeah.
We've done nothing yet.
Yeah.
It's a World Cup.
Yeah, that needs to stop. I think we're at the point now where a tap on the back is not good enough.
Oh, one more person asking Fonzie, how great's Canada?
I know.
Like,
And I'm sure they don't want to hear that either,
No,
right?
they don't.
They were upset after that match.
Yeah.
You know, we were too. I mean, we also kind of gave him a little pat on the back, but I think we're what's up? That
Mike-
little smile for it.
Yeah.
Mikey was pissed after the match.
Yeah,
He went all
rightfully
through
so,
the list, and
rightfully
I
so.
saw him from just nervous to excited to fuming.
I feel like
Still
we're
am.
slowly transitioning into a soccer nation.
And I think, you know what,
yeah.
we'll look back on that game against Belgium as maybe the turning point for soccer in this country,
I agree. Yeah.
right? For the way
Absolutely.
that fans, especially casual fans, perceive Canada. John Herman, one of his goals heading into this was to make Canadians believe in this team ahead of the 2026 World Cup. 20 minutes into that game, I'd say that goal was accomplished. Canada believes in this team.
Yeah, and listen, 3.3 million viewers tuned into that matchup. So that's a great start for the Canadian side. But coming up after this, time for Fast Money Football, where we talk about tomorrow's games and give you our picks. All right, we're back. Now it's time for Fast Money Football presented by Betano, and time to recap the picks from today's matches. It's not looking too good. Mikey, Neymar anytime goal scorer didn't happen.
He had his moments.
He did have
He had
his
his
moments.
moments.
But he
during
didn't
that
score it,
match.
did he?
Yes.
We'll have to look back at the tape.
We'll get to-
It might be a
We'll get to
technical
James
discrepancy.
shortly. Sarah, you had Uruguay in the under. It was close. It was close.
know,
was
This is
under.
a very popular pick, too.
It was.
That
I
Valverde
know.
strike, that would have won.
I know, but I'm not doing well. What
This is
can
the
you
problem
do?
with these first matches in the group stage, because you don't really know exactly what these teams are. Once you get into the second games, you start realizing, okay, this is how these teams are going to play and what's going to happen, who's going to start, and I think it'll start to change there.
I find my bet's pretty easy.
James,
Uh,
CR7 goal.
I mean, what a brave bet.
Yeah,
Hey,
I was gonna
listen,
say,
Plus
A-
money, though.
A bet,
know,
I
it was-
bet.
surprised that was plus
A
money.
win is a win. I went with Eric Choupo-Moting to score a goal. He almost
Again,
didn't
a couple
happen.
of chances,
I
yeah.
love
He
those
did
odds.
almost,
though.
though.
4-1
Good
odds.
shout.
You had to sprinkle a little bit
Yeah.
on it. Okay, let's go to tomorrow's matches. Qatar, Senegal on the slate. James, what do you like here?
I know people are saying, well, Qatar's had a week now to prepare. They can't be as bad as the first game, right? Well, they can, because they're a bad team, a really bad team. Senegal, I thought, are really unfortunate in their first game. And, you know, we mentioned before, had Sadio Mane been healthy, they would have scored goals. I still think they're going to find the net in this one. I'm taking Senegal and over 2.5 goals.
I like
think
that.
they're going to smash the hosts. Sorry, Qatar.
Ooh,
that.
You would think Qatar can't be that much worse, but I mean, I guess we'd be surprised. Netherlands, Ecuador. Mikey, can Ecuador make it 6 points?
Yeah, so I've
go.
been saying Netherlands. I'm not too sure about this team. I know they came away with the 2-0 win against Senegal in their opening match, but 83 minutes of that match was tied, and they didn't create a lot of clear-cut opportunities. So now that they're going up against a team like Ecuador, who's coming in confident after that big win against Qatar, I'm gonna take Ecuador to at +1. So to give them a 1-goal handicap in this game. I think they'll find a way to, if not win the game, they'll at least keep it close. And if that's at plus money, I think that's worth something straight up there.
Yeah, even money bet. I don't mind that at all. Sarah, Wales, Iran. This is a tricky one to handicap.
Yeah, this one's really tough because I don't know what Iranian side I'm going to get. You know, when we saw them against England, they were really looking just awful and destroyed and distraught for good reason. But I'm hoping, you know, maybe a little pick-me-up. Wales tied the U.S. with a penalty. I don't know. Maybe we'll see it again. Gareth Bale stepping up to it. But I think we'll see goals. So I played it safe. I don't know who's going to win. But I think both teams can score. And that's at plus money. Even if it's a 1-1 draw, you're going to win something. But then after that, I feel like it's a safe bet. I'm starting to make it safer because
No, you got to go
I'm,
safe
I'm
sometimes.
not doing well.
You got to go safe, but this one smells like an under. Hey, Wales, Iran, 0-0, 1-1. 1-1 would benefit.
be ugly.
But the thing
both
is,
people.
Iran scored 2 goals against England. So, I mean,
This is true.
Wales is a much easier opponent. So I think Iran can
Yeah.
score against them. And Gareth Bale's on. I think my logic is good. I think
I
it
think
makes
it's a really tough game to
It is a
call this one
difficult
because
game.
Iran is way better than we saw against England, I think. You know? And Wales is just It's Wales.
Yeah.
They can put on a great performance or a bad performance, or they'll grind it out, and it could be it's 0-0, isn't it?
Stop. We'll
It is.
see.
Too
Well,
many
think about it,
nil-nils, by the way. This
Yeah,
is the
3.
most. I think there's 4, but
Four.
this is the most ever at any FIFA
sorry.
There was
World
one
Cup.
0-0 in 2018.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, I don't mind a 0-0. I'm just
Again,
I
Albert
don't
Lawrence
mind a
is a
0-0.
great
I don't mind a 0-0. England, USA, this will not be 0-0.
No.
I'm going with England -1 on the handicap. I think they put a couple past the USA here. Mikey, I know you're against me on this one. You actually believe, maybe you're just saying that, but at least we're on air, we're live right now. You actually
on
believe
record.
USA can beat England.
I do. I do believe they've never lost to England at a FIFA World Cup. If that doesn't
They
really
played twice,
mean-
right?
But hold on, how
Twice,
much
yeah.
stock can you put into these
That doesn't
historical
really
stats?
mean too
Because
much, yeah.
USA beat them in 1950 1-0, and then they drew in 2010 1-1.
Hey,
what do you take?
they're
from
gonna look
that?
back at that 1950
Half that team
game
isn't
and be like,
alive.
we can do this. Whoa, why you gotta go
No,
there?
no, I'm sorry. Everyone is still alive, but I'm just saying.
no.
If you're dead, doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't really.
The U.S. is gonna come out upset. They're gonna be like,
Of course, yeah. They need a result. They need a result.
They absolutely need a result, and they have the quality on the pitch to do so. And it's just one of those games. I have a feeling that U.S. is going to come out on top against England, who are probably a little bit too confident heading into this one.
I don't know about too confident.
I know
Sorry,
you don't.
I would like to know what happens to James if the U.S. beats England.
Well,
James isn't going to be on the show today.
I can handle England losses pretty well. I've been
No.
so used to them over the years.
To
but,
the U.S. though.
England still have 3 points in the bank. You know
Yeah.
what I'm starting to think? That most people are underestimating England a little bit.
I think so too. Yeah, they were. Listen, Iran, we mentioned that, but they were very, very good. Harry Kane is back in training. He's just fine. I think them, along with France and Spain, and I guess Brazil now, the most impressive performances so far
Yeah.
in this tournament, one game in. And I think Southgate's showing his tactical acumen as well. He's willing to switch things up a little bit, which in the past he was criticised not for doing. So, I mean, listen, I thought the States were really good in that first half against Wales. Not so good in the second half. They're better than we've seen in qualifying, certainly. And they're going to be a good team. You know, it won't be a smash and grab by any stretch. But I think England will take this.
We've seen a couple good performances. So let's talk about, as of right now, who are your favorites to win it, Sarah?
Because it's me. Or
Has it
because...
changed? Has it changed?
No, yeah, of course, because I think James and I had Argentina, but I'm so impressed with the Spanish side. They have so many young players, and I wasn't sure what I was going to see because they went through a bit of a slump. We saw them in 2014 exit in the group. And so lately they've been kind of getting better. You know, in the Euros, they went to the semis, but I really think right now, even England, France, Brazil, so far to me, Spain, they look the best. They look the most well-rounded.
What about you, Mike? Has your pick changed? You were in the
I had
Portugal
Portugal. I had Portugal. I want to stay with my pick. I just don't know because it's just the first match. Like there's
so
in these
early.
tournaments, teams grow into
Yeah,
themselves and get so much better as the tournament goes on.
Spain
So
should beat Germany 10-0.
Oy.
that then on the other hand of that, like maybe you peaked too early if you're
Yeah.
Spain. But the way that they look, the way that they played football that game, they look like the cream of the crop right now, and it's tough to really bet against Spain. But Canada looked like a good team that can grow into it. We'll
I
see.
love that. I can't stop watching that Gavi goal, by the way. Quickly, just about a minute left. Has your pick changed?
I mean, just Spain quickly. I mean, they played almost their perfect opponent though in Costa
Yeah.
Rica, right? Who allowed them to just dictate play, and they sat so deep, and they were wonderful. But Costa Rica were horrible in that match.
Yeah.
I can't. It's one game in. You got to stick with your who you picked, even no matter. Say they got shocked in some crazy game, like my pick, Argentina. I'm still going with Argentina.
Yeah,
They
Argentina
can't be
can
that
still
bad.
turn it
They actually
around.
weren't that horrible in the first half.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously the second half was a disaster. I'm still picking Argentina.
I like it.
Argentina, their odds have dropped almost to 10-1. So not a bad time if you want to back Argentina to go all the way and win the World Cup. Still at the top of the crop, Brazil plus 350 at the moment to win the World Cup. That's it for us here. Thanks for watching Room 442. We will be back tomorrow.